There is a quiet machine running inside you while you sleep. Most people believe wealth is built in the hours of striving, in the noise of effort, in the sweat of the day. They are wrong. Wealth is built in the silence between heartbeats, in the dark hours when the conscious mind finally lets go and the deeper mind takes the wheel. You have been working the wrong shift your entire life. Look at your hands for a moment. Look at the room around you. Everything you see, everything you possess, everything you have failed to possess. It all began as a signal inside a mind, not a plan, a signal, a frequency. And while you slept last night, your subconscious was broadcasting something into your future. The question is whether you chose the broadcast or whether the world chose it for you. Most people are sleepwalking their way into poverty. They lie down each night with worry on their tongue. They replay the argument. They scroll until their eyes burn, then close them and wonder why nothing changes. 8 hours of the most powerful creative force on earth wasted on fear. Multiply that by a decade. Multiply that by a lifetime. That is not bad luck. That is a programming error, and the cost is not measured in dollars. It is measured in the man or the woman you could have become. Here is the truth you were never told. Your subconscious does not know the difference between what is real and what is rehearsed. It accepts whatever you feed it with feeling, and it goes to work building a life that matches. If you feed it lack, it builds lack. If you feed it abundance with conviction, it builds the conditions, the courage, the chance encounters, the unreasonable ideas at 3 a.m. This is the law Hill spent a lifetime decoding, and it is the law I want to place in your hands tonight. So hear the thesis. Write it on the inside of your eyelids. You do not chase wealth. You become the frequency wealth is forced to find. That is the entire teaching. That is the whole library in a single line. You do not chase wealth. You become the frequency wealth is forced to find. And the place where that frequency is set is not the desk, not the gym, not the boardroom. It is the bed. It is the breath before sleep. It is the soil of the subconscious mind. Andrew Carnegie understood this. He was a poor immigrant boy from Scotland, working in a cotton mill for pennies, and yet he carried inside him a picture so clear, so insistent, that the world had no choice but to rearrange itself around it. He did not visualize money. He visualized steel. He visualized libraries. He visualized a country wired together by iron and ambition. He went to sleep with that picture and he woke with it, and one day he handed a young broke journalist named Napoleon Hill the keys to a 20-year study of the wealthiest minds alive. Carnegie did not give Hill money. He gave him a frequency, and from that frequency came one of the most influential books ever written, Plant the Seed Before You Sleep. Most people give their last waking minute to a glowing screen full of other people's lives. That is a thief. Take it back. In the final 5 minutes before sleep, sit upright, close your eyes, and say what you intend to become as if it has already happened. Not I want, not I hope. Say I am. Say it with feeling, because feeling is a language the subconscious understands. Words without feeling are wind. Words with feeling are seeds. Tonight, before your head touches the pillow, plant one seed. One. A specific image of the version of you who is already wealthy, already calm, already moving with the dignity of someone who knows. Now here's the truth. The subconscious is a garden, and thoughts are the soil. Whatever you plant repeatedly will grow, and it does not care whether it is roses or weeds. It simply grows what is planted. So the wealthy are not luckier. They are better gardeners. They tend the soil while everyone else tramples it. Speak to yourself like a king to his kingdom. Listen to the way you talk to yourself when no one is watching. That voice is the most powerful broadcaster in your life. And most of you have handed the microphone to your worst critic. You call yourself stupid for small mistakes. You rehearse why you cannot. You narrate your day in the voice of a man who has already lost. And then you wonder why the world treats you the way you treat yourself. The world is only echoing the broadcast. Thomas Edison was called slow as a child. His teachers wrote him off. His own mother was told he would never amount to anything. But inside that boy was a voice that refused the verdict. He failed at the light bulb not hundreds but thousands of times. And every failure was reframed in his mind not as defeat, but as another door closed on the long hallway leading to the door that would open. He spoke to himself like a king to his kingdom. He did not beg his mind for results. He commanded it. And his mind, like every mind eventually does, obeyed. So today, audit your inner voice. For one full day, catch every sentence you say about yourself, out loud or in silence, and ask one question. Would a king say this to his kingdom? If not, rewrite it on the spot. This is not positive thinking. This is sovereignty. Feel it before you have it. The subconscious does not move for logic. It moves for emotion. You can repeat an affirmation 1,000 times in a flat voice, and nothing will happen, because you are speaking a foreign language to a mind that only understands feeling. But say it once with the trembling certainty of a man who already sees it, and the universe begins to shift. The architect drafts the blueprint before the skyscraper rises. The feeling is the blueprint. The wealth is the skyscraper. Henry Ford did not feel like a struggling mechanic. He felt like the man who would put America on wheels, long before there was a factory, long before there was a single Model T, long before the engineers told him his V8 engine was impossible. He held the feeling so completely that when his entire team came to him and said, "It cannot be done," he simply said, "Go back and do it." They did, because the man at the top was not hoping. He was knowing. And knowing is a frequency the subconscious not to resist. Tonight, do this. Close your eyes and pick one outcome you have been chasing. Now stop chasing it. Instead, feel what it would feel like in your chest, in your shoulders, in the corners of your mouth to already have it. Hold that feeling for 60 seconds. That is not daydreaming. That is engineering. The truth is simple. You will not rise to the level of your goals. You will fall to the level of your inner frequency. Set the frequency, and the goals come looking for you. Guard the gate of your mind. Every sound, every image, every conversation you allow in is a deposit into the subconscious. There are no neutral inputs. The news you scroll at midnight, the gossip you let into your kitchen, the cynical friend who laughs at your dreams, these are all seeds, and they are being planted whether you notice or not. A river moves with momentum, and the question is only which direction. You are either flowing toward the life you want or away from it, and the currents are set by what you consume. Walt Disney was mocked for believing a mouse could build an empire. He was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. He went bankrupt. He was told a full-length animated film would never sell. And yet he guarded the gate of his mind so fiercely that not one of those voices was allowed to take up residence inside him. He let the criticism pass through like wind through an open window. He kept only what served the vision, and the vision built a kingdom that has outlived him by generations. So tonight, do an audit. Name 3 inputs in your life that are poisoning the garden. A show, a scroll, a voice, a habit. Name them and starve them for 7 days. Replace each one with a single input that feeds the frequency you are trying to set, not 10 changes. 3. The mind cannot defend 100 gates. It can defend 3. Sleep with the question. Wake with the answer. There is an old practice the wealthy have used for centuries that almost no one talks about. Before sleep, you do not ask the subconscious for things. You ask it for direction. You hand it a single well-formed question and you let go. Show me the next step. Show me what I am not seeing. Show me the opportunity that is already in my life. And then you sleep and you trust. The subconscious works the night shift. It connects what the day mind could not connect. And in the morning, in the shower, on the walk, in the quiet moment before the noise begins, the answer rises. This is how inventors invent. This is how writers write. This is how the fire hose of thoughts at the moment of waking becomes a gift instead of a flood. You learn to catch it. You keep a notebook by the bed. You write the answer down before the day washes it away. Burn the bridge of doubt. Doubt is not humility. Doubt is a bridge you keep walking back across into the country you said you were leaving. Every time you entertain the thought that this might not work, you walk the bridge backward, and the subconscious takes note. It says, we are not really going. It cancels the order. It dismisses the staff. It pulls the boats back to shore. And then you wonder why nothing arrives. Helen Keller could not see the world and could not hear it, and yet she built a frequency so unwavering that she became one of the most influential voices of her century. She had every reason to doubt, and she refused. She said the only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. She burned the bridge. She would not walk it back. And the world, against all reasonable expectation, walked toward her. So claim this right now where you sit. You will no longer rehearse why it will not work. You will catch the doubt the moment it rises, and you will speak over it in the voice of the king to his kingdom. Not maybe, not someday, already on the way. Now lift your eyes for a moment, because everything I have just placed in your hands shares one hidden driver, and unless you see it, you will collect the techniques and miss the engine. Behind every one of these principles lies one inner force, and that force is identity, not effort, not discipline, not even desire, identity. The subconscious does not produce what you want. It produces what you are. It builds a life that matches the self-image you have placed inside it, the way a thermostat returns the room to its set temperature, no matter how many windows you open. You can chase wealth for 40 years, but if the self-image inside you is the image of a man who does not deserve it, the subconscious will quietly sabotage every gain until the room returns to the temperature it was set to. Change the setting, everything else follows. And this is where the work turns inward, because comparison is a thief that robs you of joy and clouds your mind. And most of you have been letting it pick your pockets for years. You scroll, you measure, you shrink. You set your frequency by other people's highlight reels. Stop. Validation begins within, not in the likes, not in the nod of the father who never gave it, not in the applause of a room you do not even respect. Within, you are the center of your universe, never forget it, not arrogantly, reverently. Because the universe you are responsible for begins behind your own eyes. And if you abandon that throne, someone else will sit in it and rule you badly. You must reclaim the throne of your own mind. Before the world believes in you, you must believe in yourself, and not in the small, polite way that asks permission, but in the quiet, settled way of a person who has stopped negotiating with their own potential. You do not chase wealth. You become the frequency wealth is forced to find. Say it until your bones understand. So here's what tonight asks of you. Stop drifting. Stop apologizing. Start broadcasting. Decide who you will be tomorrow before tomorrow tells you who to be. Plant the seed in the last 5 minutes of the night. Speak to yourself like a king. Feel it before you have it. Guard the gate. Sleep with the question. Burn the bridge. And then trust the night shift to do what the day shift never could. 1 year from now, you will look back at this moment as the night the broadcast changed. The opportunities will look like coincidence. The money will look like luck. The new people in your life will look like accidents. They are not. They are the subconscious, finally given a clean signal, finally allowed to do the work it was built to do, finally aligned with the self you stopped abandoning. You will not recognize the version of you who is reading these words a year from now, and that is the entire point. Your wealth is already on the way. Reclaim the throne. You do not chase wealth. You become the frequency wealth is forced to find. Your subconscious is the night shift you have been refusing to manage. The way you begin is the way you become. Most people are sleepwalking their way into poverty. The subconscious does not know the difference between what is real and what is rehearsed. Wealth is built in the silence between heartbeats. Plant the seed before you sleep. Words without feeling are wind. Words with feeling are seeds. The wealthy are not luckier, they are better gardeners. Speak to yourself like a king to his kingdom. The world is only echoing the broadcast you have been running. Feel it before you have it, and the world catches up. You will not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your frequency. Guard the gate of your mind. There are no neutral inputs. Sleep with the question. Wake with the answer. The subconscious works the night shift while you finally rest. Burn the bridge of doubt. You are not walking back. Doubt is a bridge back into the country you said you were leaving. Identity is the thermostat. Every result is the room temperature. Change the setting and the whole room follows. Comparison is a thief that robs you of joy and clouds your mind. Validation begins within, never outside. You are the center of your universe. Never forget it. Reclaim the throne of your own mind. Before the world believes in you, you must believe in yourself. The architect drafts the blueprint before the skyscraper rises. Knowing is a frequency the subconscious cannot resist. The mind cannot defend 100 gates, defend 3. Stop chasing. Start broadcasting. Decide who you will be before the day tells you who to be. Coincidence is the subconscious finally given a clean signal. A year from now, you will not recognize who you have become. The bed is the boardroom of your future. Tend the soil, and the harvest tends itself. Your wealth is already on the way. Train your mind while you sleep the night shift of the wealthy. Stop chasing wealth. Start broadcasting. Your subconscious is building something. Reclaim the throne tonight.